Okay, let's make things clear. Everyone was excited about the huge chance that XRP would hit $10,000 as early as the beginning of the year. Also, do you know what? Things are getting a lot more like that guess. Larry Fink from BlackRock is publicly in favor of this. Take a look at this. It's not just $10,000 per XRP. He's trying to say that it's a basic need. You're back at the place where you can learn everything about XRP. Before we get to the meat of the post for today, let's quickly catch up. Could you please do me a favor? To join our great group, just tap the like button, subscribe button, and bell button. Also, let you know, coming up on the goal, we're getting ready for a big XRP gift. To join the giveaway is very simple. Do these 3 simple things. Now be careful and get ready. Also, don't forget to leave a money side code in the comments if you want to win. Now it gets juicy. Imagine that big names in finance, like BlackRock and Vanguard, are now really thinking about how to use XRP to do business abroad. Things will get better. Don't worry. There are rumors that BlackRock will put out an ETF that is all about XRP. That was what you heard, right? But there's more. Lawrence Fink did more than that. He is taking a look at the $30 trillion real estate market. Can you guess what will happen to it? That's it. With XRP, everything can be turned into tokens. It is also going to be worth $1.2 quadrillion, which is a lot of money. It comes from the International Swaps and Traders Association. It's not just $10,000 per XRP. That's how kids have fun. Each XRP could become worth as much as $60,000, which is a lot of money. That's really cool. Let's move on to the next part. Another big surprise came from BlackRock's Larry Fink. What he does is more than just talk. It's about to get really big for Ripple and its cryptocurrency, XRP. Everything will be turned into tokens. And there's a clip in the next part of our movie that will hit people hard. BlackRock's move towards an XRP ETF was revealed by Larry Fink himself. Let's not wait any longer. You are welcome to watch this now. Adding a Bitcoin ETF is one way we're stepping up the game. Making things are safer. Have you got another ETF? How about an XRP? There's Ether out there. That's true. How about X? Could you answer that? I can't. Do you not want me to answer? Yes. I'm sorry, I can't. Okay, they're making fun of me. Recently, a lot of strange things have happened in the world of crypto, mostly with XRP. Take a look at this. Codes.com, as soon as XRP hit the world market, its value went through the roof and topped $43,000. This won't just happen once. This is another example of how the value of XRP is going up without notice. Remember how we talked about a $7,000 XRP bug at a big exchange last week? It looks like these quick price jumps for XRP happen all the time on different markets. Now it's Crypto.com '''s turn. Now I want to talk about something else that I found after a lot of research and is just as interesting but has nothing to do with BlackRock or the general rise in the XRP market. We're going to talk about Gary Gensler, who took over as head of the SEC after Jake Clinton. As most of you may already know, Gensler always puts XRP in the security group. Now things start to get interesting. The twin brother of Gary Gensler is Robert M. Gensler. They look a lot alike and are the same age. Robert is a very important guy at TrollPrice because he is vice president. With a little more work, you can see that TrollPrice isn't just any stock exchange. There are a lot of big ones putting a lot of money into Bitcoin. Yes, Ethereum and XRP, that's a cool link. The head of the SEC, Gary Gensler, keeps saying that XRP is a property. However, his twin brother works full-time for a trading firm that has a lot of money in XRP and other crypto. The difference between the two is interesting. And it makes me think about how complicated the world of cryptocurrency investments and rules is. Now we'll talk about an exciting choice. Robert Gensler is the vice president of TrollPrice. Does he know something about XRP's chances that no one else does? Bitcoin and Ethereum are known to many people. This thought makes sense when you think about how much the company has put into these 3 crypto. Insider trading does happen, even though the SEC says it doesn't in public. This has been shown by many stories and investigations. Most of these investigations have been into market manipulation and illegal trading. They have often shown that the SEC is doing a good job. There are issues. It looks like a pattern is beginning to take shape. It looks like people who work for the SEC are telling their friends and family about which digital assets might not be stocks in the near future. Then this family spends time early. Once the asset is made public as not being a security, its value goes through the roof. These family and friends got rich by buying low and selling high. In this case, let's consider the possibility that Robert N. Gensler got inside information about how the SEC could lose a case against XRP. From this, it seems like Congress wants Ripple Labs and the SEC to make a deal. That means now is a great time for smart people to buy XRP. Another part to this story is how the TRO price has caused more money to flow into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most importantly, XRP. People who work with cryptocurrencies talk a lot about how XRP could reach amazing highs of $10,000, $20,000, or even $60,000. People who have been bullish on XRP, like Jack the Rippler, think it will go through the roof and even go over $589. Even though this guess is very bold, it shows how much people are thinking about and interested in XRP and what it could mean for the cryptocurrency market. Wall Street wants a piece of the XRP pie because it makes so much money, and I think the first big move will be an XRP ETF, but let's find out more. Crypto Basic has some interesting news for us about this move that goes deeper than the surface. A market expert says that JP Morgan has made a big move into XRP, which has caught the attention of a person who used to be the head of Ripple. I raised a question when I heard this, and we need to talk about it. This is how the story goes. Someone named Ben Armstrong, who used to work for the BitBoy crypto brand, said some controversial things about JP Morgan's alleged investment in XRP, which made a director react. Armstrong wrote several posts about this. He is a well-known figure in the crypto world. He says that JP Morgan bought 7.5 million XRP tokens, which is a lot. Armstrong now says that this move is worth about 7.5% of all of JP Morgan's money. But wait, this maths doesn't make sense. To give you an idea of how much 7.5 million XRP is worth right now, $4.46 million is a tiny fraction of JP Morgan's wealth. Armstrong's maths doesn't quite add up when you think about how big JP Morgan's assets are. $3.89 trillion as of 2023. The fact that JP Morgan is supposedly stockpiling XRP as part of a plan is still very important to Armstrong. If you ask him, this makes JP Morgan an up-and-coming Bitcoin force. We've heard that big Wall Street banks like JP Morgan might want to get involved with crypto, especially XRP. Also, the numbers might not be very good, but the idea of big banks getting into crypto is interesting. XRP is at the center of some very interesting changes. It's part of a bigger trend where digital currencies and regular banks are coming together. Armstrong's strong words have also made people aware of BlackRock, which is the biggest name in asset management. People are mad at him because he says BlackRock is now interested in XRP for its money after getting the Bitcoin ETF from ISAR was accepted. Armstrong's story did not end there. He is also very interested in the case that Ripple is currently in with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. What do you think? Big banks are putting money into XRP even though the case is still going on in court. This shows they believe XRP will have a good future. If this trend of getting together were real, think about what would happen. It would mean that well-known people in finance are betting on XRP, even though the rules for it are always changing. Now, here's what's going on. Wall Street would eventually accept crypto. When I first talked about this idea more than 5 years ago, it seemed like a far-fetched dream. But now that Bitcoin is leading the way, do you think XRP won't do the same? To be nice, I have to say, I don't agree. It's not if, but when that matters. In Armstrong's case, though that might not be the whole story,